Thank you. Thank you very much for having me here, and welcome to all the people who are online today. And I realize that people are collectively watching this show. There are more than 10 people, 20 people, 50 people, and 100 people gathered in different cooperative housing societies, and they have logged in so that all the members of the cooperative housing societies can participate in it, where the logging in has been done on, and the screen is playing this. So, welcome to all the cooperative housing societies who have joined in. Though they are not legal people, they are not lawyers, or they are not students of law. The cooperative housing societies have specifically requested me, and they have joined, and they are all online. I can see some of their names and numbers on the screen for me, and I must welcome the law students, the law graduates, the young lawyers, as well as those connected with plea, and also those cooperative housing societies and slum societies who have joined today. Let me come straight away to the subject for today, which is redevelopment. Now, redevelopment can be done in two ways, and I'll talk about certain circulars which the government has formulated for redevelopment. There are two ways in which you can go for redevelopment. One is the way wherein you use the builder as a mechanism to get for yourself a house. Now, first of all, what is redevelopment? Redevelopment means if you are staying in a building which is old and dilapidated, needs reconstruction, you apply for redevelopment and pull down your building and construct a new building in its place where the original residents get a house, and that is called redevelopment. Now, within redevelopment, there are two ways in which redevelopment can be done. One is through the builder's route, and the other is through what we call a self-redevelopment scheme, wherein there is no builder. The self-redevelopment is done by the cooperative housing society, either of slum dwellers or of residents or of tenants or members of the cooperative housing society. They themselves assume the role of a developer, and then they undertake redevelopment. And I will explain to you both. Now, first, let us handle, before we handle the builder scheme or the self-redevelopment scheme, there are some misunderstandings that are there in the minds of the people. People at large, and even lawyers for that matter, do not understand the subtle differences in these technical terms. So let us understand certain aspects of redevelopment which you have to know. That the first misunderstanding that 90 out of 100 people have in their mind is that who constructs the building? 90 out of 100 may say it's the builder who constructs the building. The answer is obviously wrong. No builder worth his salt ever constructs a building. The person who constructs a building is called a contractor, and it's the contractor who constructs the building for the builder or for anyone else. So, remove it from your head that the builder constructs the building. The one who constructs the building is the contractor. If it is a builder who instructs the contractor to construct the building, the contractor constructs it on behalf of the builder. And if there is no builder, as happens in a self-redevelopment scheme, the contractor constructs it for the cooperative housing society of residents, slum dwellers, tenants, or whatever. So the person who constructs is a contractor, and the same contractor can work for the builder, the same contractor can work for the society as self-redevelopment. So for constructing a building, you don't need to go to a builder. You can ask a contractor to construct a building. That's point number one. Point number two, the misunderstanding is that the builder spends money from his own pocket for any project. No builder spends any money from his own pocket for any project. For For a builder, it is a business. And when it is a business for a builder, he obtains the money from financial agencies, either individuals or collective, from the market. So he takes funding from the market, and from that fund, the project is implemented. So no builder spends money from his own pocket. That's point number two. Someone may ask me that if the builder doesn't spend money from his own pocket, where does he get his funds from? He gets his fund from A, high net worth individuals, B, collective of ultra high net worth individuals, C, money lenders from the market, D, the venture capital funds, E, from IPOs. The builder comes up with IPO, people invest in buying the shares in his IPO and he gets interest-free funds. F, from foreign institutional investors. G, from foreign direct investment. Remember, real estate is entitled foreign direct investment. Anybody living anywhere in the world can invest in his currency, either dollar or pound or rubles or whatever, and make profit in India in a real estate project and take the money back in the foreign currency that he has invested in. So all these people invest with the developer, and all these people can invest with the cooperative housing society as well. So the misunderstanding that builder puts funds from his own pocket needs to be removed, because no builder puts from his own pocket. He raises funds, and so does the cooperative housing society. The third misunderstanding is that if a builder does the planning, he does excellent planning. Over a period of years, I have been teaching in the schools of architecture in Mumbai and in other parts of the country, also places abroad. And we have seen from experience that what a builder does in a plan is to accommodate as much floor space as possible within the given constraints. And by accommodating more space as possible within the given constraints, what emerges as the plan need not be a proper planning or good planning with good circulation, good cross ventilation, good scope for planning, considering the user into account. The planning that the builder gives is always considering the profit that the builder will get into account. And why not? When it's a business, he will think about his profit, and it's his profit which is foremost in his mind. And hence, the planning aspect is seldom taken seriously, and in most of the time, the real good planning is not followed by the builder. There may be exceptions. Of course, there are exceptions. Maybe in 1,000, maybe one builder may have done some reasonably decent planning if his architect has been insistent and he has had the advantage of good architects. But that is rare and too little and too far from each other. However, in the normal scheme of things, what builder churn out as a plan is always something which fetches him the maximum amount of floor space within the minimum amount of plinth area, giving him the maximum profits, which need not necessarily be good planning. And in many cases, it is bad planning. So, when some of our students come up in their dissertation or in their plan and copy the plans given by builders to various unsuspecting buyers, and the plan comes to us for evaluation, the student suffers because he doesn't get enough marks, and most of the time he fails in the exam just because he has copied the plan which builder has given. And so a builder's plan need not necessarily be a good plan. So the misunderstanding that if a builder does planning, the planning is always good has to be removed. It could be 1 in 1,000, the plan could be decent, good. But in most cases, it is catered to make maximum profits for the builder, and hence it need not be good. In most cases, it is not good. Our experience from survey of various plans submitted by builders and implemented by builders, that the planning is atrocious. It's not good at all. for the benefit of the people. Then there is a misunderstanding that the quality of construction given by builders is good. People who are laymen do not understand what is a good quality of construction. We have inspected, we formed a team of technical experts and personally inspected about 1,000 redevelopment schemes in Mumbai, both slum rehabilitation and cooperative housing society, tenanted buildings and so on. And we have found that the rehab portion in the tenanted building, the quality of construction is minus C grade or even worse than that. And the quality is not at all good. In some cases, the free sale component is slightly better than the rehab component. But to our greatest surprise, we have found that a lot of free sale component is also not as desired as has been advertised, saying that excellent quality construction, but those slogans remain in the advertisement of the builder alone. Our experience in practice has been the quality of construction, even from the free sale, could be much better than what the builders generally give. And in some cases, it's pretty bad. Minus B levels for free sale and C minus C levels in the case of rehab. In some cases, the rehab portions have been so bad that within 15 years of the construction of the buildings have come up for redevelopment. Now, the redeveloped building have again come up for redevelopment. That's the quality of construction that the builder has given. In many of the buildings given by the builders, the lift and infrastructure is so bad. The water is grossly inadequate. The drainage lines are not good and they are bursting in their seams. The electricity load is not as per required capacity. The lifts have been are facing regular shutdowns, and in most cases, for a 7-storied, 8-storied, 10-storied building, the lift is non-functional. The people have to climb those many stairs. Senior citizens, after climbing so many stairs, die out of exhaustion, and the building is in a total mess. So, the misunderstanding that builder gives good quality construction should be removed from your mind. And the last misunderstanding that the builder gives work on time. Out of 100 projects, 97 or 98 projects, builder never builds on time, never builds in twice the time. If he promises that he will give the house within 3 years, he may take 6 years, 8 years, 10 years, or even more. In Mumbai alone, there are 5,800 buildings which are stuck for some reason or the other, and 1,25,000 people, families are on the streets, which means about 6 to 7 lakh families who were earlier living in proper accommodation are now on the streets because the builder, they trusted the builder and the builder has given up upon them. So that being the case in Mumbai, I have tried to remove the misunderstandings in the minds of the people first. And then we come to various aspects of redevelopment through the builder and under the self-redevelopment mode. In the builder's redevelopment, the cooperative department has come up with certain guidelines. The High Court in various judgment has ruled very clearly that these are just guidelines. They are not laws, they are not rules, and they need not be strictly followed. If they are not followed, you cannot take penal action against the society for not following the rules. But if the society follows these regulations, it may be better. That's what the High Court has ruled in a few judgments. Having said this, what happens under the builder scheme is that the people call for a general body meeting, pass a resolution for redevelopment saying that the building requires redevelopment, and the general body approves the redevelopment. Then the process kicks in with the redevelopment, wherein the society then advertises for architects and project management consultants who then apply to the cooperative housing society, and the society then interviews the project management consultant and chooses who they want. Now here too, unfortunately, the term project management consultant has not been properly defined and hence misused and sometimes abused. It is generally felt that a project management consultant should be someone who understands the project in its full capacity, should either be an engineering graduate or an architectural graduate or both, or someone who understands construction completely. Unfortunately, that's not the case. The project management consultant companies comprise of people who are engineers and architects in many cases. But there are many cases where a person who has passed his BCom, I know of a few project management consultants who are not even graduates and have registered their company as project management consultant. They hire some engineers and architects by paying them paltry sums of salary per month, and then they call themselves project management consultant. If the people ask them technical questions about FSI and other things, they said our architect and our engineer will come and reply. So the so-called project management consultant is just a marketing guy who likes to give you all kinds of wrong promises and convinces you that he's the best person for you. And then the society, which has members who actually do not understand the technicalities of construction, generally do not realize the difference between a technically expert project management consultant and someone who doesn't understand technicalities and still has registered their company as a project management consultant. I must explain to you that a lot of builders have registered companies as project management consultant. As you know, most of the builders have gone bankrupt because their capacity to service the loans taken from financial institutions is not proper. In Mumbai alone, there are 286,000 flats which are vacant, which are not sold off, despite the builders' efforts to convince people that a lot of flats are selling. The fact is that flats are not selling. If you look at the builders building from outside in the night, you will realize that there are no lights in the building, means that those flats are not sold. And hence, because the inventory is not sold, they keep on telling people that they will sell it, they have sold it and they are gone. And if you go to buy, they will say there are no flats left, only one is left. When a builder says only one is left or two are left, then that means that he's cheating you. You may be perhaps the first person to buy in his flats. And hence, the selection of this project management consultant is absolutely important, because a project management consultant then gives you a feasibility report and things like that for your building, for which you have to pay the project management consultant. In the case, I'm talking all this in the case where you want to hire the services of a builder. And then the project management consultant gives you all his numbers. I must admit that I have gone through the project reports given by project management consultant in the builders team in at least 1,500 projects. And in most cases, the number are grossly exaggerated, fudged, and in some cases, there is total deceit and forgery that is happening, wherein there is cheating that is happening, wherein the project management consultant, at the instance of the developer, keeps on misguiding the people into believing that there is nothing in this project that will give profit to it. इसमें कुछ नहीं मिलता, लेकिन मैं किसी बिल्डर को समझाऊंगा, आपके लिए हाथ पैर जोड़ूंगा और बिल्डर को ले आऊंगा. As a builder is doing the greatest favor to you, and then the builder comes in, and then the builder gives you an agreement. In most cases, to avoid the payment to the professional lawyers, the Cooperative Housing Society opts for a legal person specified by the builder, who the builder pays. And naturally, when a lawyer is taking the money from the builder and guiding the Cooperative Housing Society, then he is not doing the correct practice, and he would naturally misguide the Cooperative Housing Society into believing that what the builder is doing is the correct thing. And that is what happens. And then the people suffer. And then the builder borrows money from the market, takes booking from unsuspecting buyers. And sometimes when he has enough money at his disposal, he just runs away. Very few people know that more than 2,25,000 people in India who were earlier builders have changed their nationality, converted their money into foreign exchange, and taken citizenship of different countries, especially tax haven. Some of them have gone to the Gulf, some of them have gone to Cayman Islands, some of them have gone to certain other places in the Caribbean. Some of them have gone to some British islands where there is no taxation. Some of them have gone to Hawaii where they feel that the taxation is done. Some of them have gone to Honduras and very many other places. Some of them operate from Singapore where the tax regime is a little more sympathetic to them. Some of them, of course, are in Indonesia, Malaysia, and other things. So all these are essentially Hawala conduits wherein the developers have taken their money off. As far as the record is concerned in India, the developers company has no money and they are defaulting on all the payments to be made to the bank. As per one of the questions replied by the finance department in parliament and two parliamentarians, all the money that has to be paid to the financial institution by the developers for real estate has gone to 5,86,000 crores. And the developer has been showing inventory against these amounts, saying that once this inventory will be cleared, the money will be paid. The inventory is never being cleared, the money is never being paid. And we do not know what will happen to the financial institutions if these builders raise hands. So it's a secret between the financial institutions and the builders that they do window dressing to all their numbers and they are showing a float. But someday the bubble is going to burst and we are going to realize. So going to a builder is full of risks, and even the biggest of the builders have more borrowings than the inventory that they have, and the inventory has been inflated artificially. So if a builder, a very big builder has 25,000 crores as his borrowings, and to show that he is capable of paying it, he increases his selling price in the inventory that he has, showing that his inventory will fetch him more than 25,000 crores. The fact is, he is not going to get that 25,000 crores, and the taxpayers' hard-earned money, which was kept in the bank, which has been lent to him, will result in his default. So, in the builder scheme, the advantages are simple: that the chairman, secretary, treasurer, and office bearers of the cooperative housing societies may be the favored people. The builder will give them what they want, either above the table, under the table, or whichever way, and then get the contract. And once the contract is given and the office bearers are in his pocket, then he does not bother about the members of the cooperative housing society. Hence, the builder scheme looks good on paper. It looks that, you appoint a project management consultant, he gives you the numbers, he gives you the feasibility report, you approve the feasibility report, you appoint the consultant, then he brings in 3 or 4 builders, you interview them and select from amongst them whoever is the best. And once you have appointed the builder, then it's up to the builder to build the building, and there is nothing you can do. Even if the builder takes 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, though on record in the agreement he has agreed to you that he will do it within 2 years. Incidentally, the builders tom-tom about the law, which is RERA. RERA does not protect the redevelopment schemes at all. The resident of the cooperative housing society who goes for redevelopment is not protected by RERA. The slum dweller is not protected by RERA. The tenant is not protected by RERA. Who is protected by RERA? The person who attempts to buy a flat from the builder from the free sale quota, he is protected by RERA. And so 98% of Mumbai's population is not covered, or RERA doesn't He is not affected by RERA. So I'm saying this with all the knowledge at my command and the experience at my command, that none of the cooperative housing societies or slum dwellers or tenants have ever got any advantage from the provisions of the RERA. So if a builder keeps on telling that now there is RERA and you are protected, he's fooling you as usual. RERA doesn't protect the tenants, RERA doesn't protect the cooperative housing society, and hence the builder scheme, though looks attractive, that you don't have to do anything, just select a builder, sign an agreement with him, and then go to sleep. He will build the thing. As if, there is this age-old story of Krishna and Sudama, who were friends when they were children, and finally Krishna becomes king, and Sudama goes to meet him and takes nothing but what we call the poha, which is puffed rice, and offers it to Krishna and says, I don't have anything, I don't even have a house. And then comes back from after meeting Krishna, thinking what he's going to tell his family. And by the time he reaches home, his house is completely built, it is new, and Krishna has done the miracle. So most people feel that the builder, once you sign an agreement with him, there is going to be a miracle, and you go and you'll get your new building. You'll just go into it. The real experience is pretty bad, and more than 90% of the schemes don't materialize. Even those which materialize, the quality of construction and the quality of infrastructure may not be necessarily what has been considered to be reasonably good. Forget good. So this is about the builder scheme. There are various guidelines that have been laid down, that you have to give an advertisement, select a project management consultant, give an advertisement, select an architect, give an advertisement, select a structural engineer, and then give an advertisement, select a builder. All these guidelines are in place. The government has said that you shall follow these guidelines. There is no penalty for not following these guidelines, and those who have followed these guidelines, 5,800 projects are stuck. So these guidelines mean nothing, and these guidelines are not enforceable, and these guidelines have failed in protecting people. So much about the builder scheme. Now let us come to self-redevelopment scheme. Self-redevelopment scheme is a scheme wherein there is no builder, and the society assumes upon itself the role of a developer. It takes loans from the same agency which would have otherwise given loans to the developer, and it continues to, in a builder scheme, you have to give power of attorney to the builder, by which he uses the power of attorney to raise funds from the market. In a self-redevelopment scheme, you don't give power of attorney to anybody, but you raise funds from financial institutions. You don't mortgage the flats of your own members, but only mortgage the sellable area after creating construction for your residents. Whatever is available for sale, you mortgage that saleable portion and raise funds, construct your building, construct the extra area, sell the extra area, and also sell the extra area to your existing members. Any existing member requires extra area over and above what free he can get, will get it at 30% discount than the sellable price. And similarly, more than 40 to 50% of the extra area is purchased by those members who want to buy that extra area at a discounted price, and the self-redevelopment scheme becomes successful. Now, let us understand comparatively between self-redevelopment and builders redevelopment. By and large, in the cooperative housing societies of Mumbai, let's come to cooperative housing societies first, tenants then, and then the slums. In a cooperative housing society, no builder gives more than 15, 20, 25, at the most 30% extra over and above what the people have got presently. Under self-redevelopment, in no cooperative housing society do we give less than 40, 45 or 50% extra. That means In self-development, you give more area than what any builder can offer. In self-redevelopment, you give more corpus than what any builder can offer. In self-redevelopment, you give better quality planning than what any builder can offer. In self-redevelopment, you give better quality construction than what any builder can offer. Because in the builder scheme, economizing on construction means more profit to the builder. However, in self-redevelopment scheme, the society is not willing to economize on the construction. They want good quality construction because the members themselves have to stay there, unlike the builder. Because builder doesn't stay in the buildings that he plans or he builds because he sells it and he takes his money and goes away. So it doesn't matter to him what the quality of construction is. Whereas in the self-redevelopment, the quality of construction matters, and so they insist on getting a proper quality of construction. So more area than what builder can give, better quality construction, better planning, timely completion, and 30% discount to all the existing members to get over and above what they have presently got. Now let me quickly take you through a few projects wherein first the society went to a developer, then the society went to a self-development project, and then opted for self-redevelopment project, and what has happened. Let us take the first project is Purvaranga Society in Mulund. In Mulund East, there is the Salt Pan area, Mitagar Road. In Mitagar Road, there is a cooperative housing society called Purvaranga. Presently, they are occupying something like 450 square feet each, and there are about 60 members in that building. And they went to all kinds of builders, and no builder would offer them more than 525 square feet carpet area and a corpus fund of 2 lakhs of rupees. That is what the maximum offer they got. After that, they met me and we discussed self-redevelopment. They found merits in the self-redevelopment scheme, and today they have gone for self-redevelopment and they are getting 880 square feet carpet area. Remember, where the builder would have given them 525, they are getting 880 square feet carpet area. Where the builder would have given them 2 lakhs of corpus, they are getting 8 lakhs of corpus, and they are getting better quality planning, better quality construction. The building plans have been approved. I must tell you with confidence that in the self-redevelopment plans, all the permissions that were to be taken were taken without giving 1 rupee bribe. Generally, the builders say कि इतना पैसा देना पड़ता है, 2 crore रुपया इसका under the table 5 crore देना पड़ता है, फलाने आदमी को दे. Perhaps the builder even gives that because builders and politicians are generally hand in glove. And when a builder takes up, the politician always sends the people to the builder. Because when the builder undertakes the work, the politician always gets his cut without the people coming to know about it. So in self-redevelopment, we have taken a conscious decision that we will get all our approvals without paying a penny as bribes, without doing anything illegal. When you do illegal, you have to pay bribes to cover up your illegalities. Whereas in self-redevelopment, we do nothing illegal. And the Mulund scheme has, all the plans have been approved without giving major amount of bribes to the people. Of course, who gets the approval? We appoint a liaison architect and we fix an amount with him that this is the money that we are going to give you to get all the approvals. No money will be paid to you in advance. The money will be paid once you get all the approvals. So you bring the approvals, we will check from the concerned authorities that these approvals are genuine. Otherwise, there could be forced approvals, and you will tell us approvals are there. And when we go to the authority, they will say, "हमने तो ये पास ही नहीं किया, हमको मालूम ही नहीं." So you have to tell us that you have got the approvals. We will go and check, and once we are sure that the approval is given, we will give you the money, and the money will be given to the concerned liaison architect. That's the name that is called. The liaison architect takes his fees and gets the approval. Now, some liaison architect may have a hand-in-glove understanding with those who approve. He may part with some portion of his fees to them. It's between him and the liaison architect and the person who approves. The society has nothing to do with it. the society only has to pay the given amount in check as is agreed with the liaison architect, and the liaison architect gets the approval. And once the approval comes, the cooperative housing society, very clearly on the basis of the approval that has been obtained, that is in hand, the cooperative housing society then pays the liaison architect. So architect, liaison architect, contractor, structural engineer are all the people that are required. And if it is a large project and you require a manager to manage the construction, then perhaps some good professional project manager, management consultant can also be appointed. Not necessary in all the cases. The architect generally takes care of project management in most cases if it's a good architect. So the Mulund case of Purvaram Society, I have told you. I'll tell you another case in Chembur. Outside Tilak Nagar, to the Tilak Nagar railway station, the west of Tilak Nagar railway station is Tilak Nagar. To the east of Tilak Nagar railway station, local railway station, is a colony called the Shell Colony or Sarkar Nagar number 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now in Sarkar Nagar number 1, we have a building called Chitra Cooperative Housing Society. Now, Chitra Cooperative Housing Society is a society which has 430 square feet each. They also went to builders. And in many buildings in their colony, the builder offered to give 550 square feet. And they offered the same to Chitra Cooperative Housing Society with a 3 lakh, 4 lakh corpus. And then Chitra Cooperative Housing Society came to know about self-development. Today, Chitra Cooperative Housing Society is going for self-development. 3 floors have been built. The building is going on. They have got loans from financial institutions, and Chitra Cooperative Housing Society members are getting more than 900 square feet. And the corpus, it's not yet very clear how much corpus because all the sale is yet to happen. But a minimum of 15 to 20 lakh of rupees per family as corpus, which they can put in a bank and invest it somewhere. And from the interest of this money, their maintenance can be free. So that is about Chitra Cooperative Housing Society. Then another society in Pantnagar, Ghatkopar, called Sai Cooperative Housing Society, where they are presently occupying 220 square feet. They went to so many builders. The builder said that the law says that you cannot get more than 450 square feet. No law will permit you to get more than 450. Even if we want, we cannot give you. It's a lie. There is no such law, but they made people to agree. Not only that, the local corporators and MLAs also sided with the developer and said there is a law. We went to explain to Pantnagar people that there is no such law. They did not believe us. Then we got under right to information all the clarification. Today in Pantnagar, Ghatkopar, they have submitted their plans and they are getting 860. In place of 225, they are getting 860 square feet carpet area. And when the scheme gets completed, they will get 10 to 15 lakhs of rupees carpet. So these are the great examples that we can give you with regard to cooperative housing society. Similarly, I can give you an example of tenanted properties. If a builder goes into a tenanted property, he doesn't give you more than 450 square feet area. Whereas if the tenanted property is developed under self-redevelopment, the owner of the building will get exactly what the builder has offered him, and the tenants will get, in place of 450 square feet, at least 550 or 600 square feet. So more area, better planning, better quality construction, timely construction and safety is all what the self-development offers for tenanted buildings. Now, even for slums, under the self-redevelopment scheme for slums, a slum which goes under self-redevelopment scheme gets 10% more FSI than what any developer will get. So if a developer under the slum scheme gives you 325 square feet carpet area, then the self-redevelopment scheme automatically gives you about 400 square feet carpet area. Fungible is presently not permitted for self-redevelopment schemes, though it is applicable to all the schemes, including self-redevelopment. For some reason, SRA is not permitting fungible for self-redevelopment. If you insist SRA will permit, it has given permission. So if you permit, then even slums will get 450 to 500 square feet area in a SRA scheme, in a slum scheme, and yet the scheme can be made to make a profit. There are several such schemes. There is one in Ghatkopar, Ramabai Nagar. There is one in Malpa Dongri, in Andheri. There is one in Bandra. There is one in Andheri West. And there is one in Mulund. All these cooperative housing societies of slum dwellers. Surprisingly, there is one cooperative housing society of slum dwellers in Nepean Sea Road, which is going for self-redevelopment. So, Section 3310 of the Development Control Regulations stipulates that 5% extra FSI will be given to cooperative housing society and another additional 5% extra FSI, more than what the builder can ever get, will be given to an NGO helping the self-redevelopment. There are innumerable NGO who want to support the self-redevelopment scheme. Collective Research Initiatives Trust is one such NGO. There are several other NGOs which are willing to support the slum scheme. And so, slums, tenanted property, cooperative housing society, MADA colonies, every single redevelopment can be done under self-redevelopment scheme if residents decide to do it in that manner. Considering all this, we approached the government and we asked the government that they should come up with a law supporting self-redevelopment. And on 13th September 2019, take down the date 13th September 2019, the government of Maharashtra came up with a GR which says the following. A, that all the self-redevelopment societies will get 10% more FSI than what any developer will get. Number one. Number two, all the loans that self-development is borrowing through financial institutions, through bank, whatever be the interest rate, 4% of the interest will be borne as subsidy by the government and the residents have to pay the remaining. Whatever be the premiums that are normally charged from the builders, the self-redevelopment will have to pay half the premium cost. So 50% discount on all the premiums for staircases, for fungible area, for passages, for car parking, for whatever. So all those premiums will be reduced. The main burden on any scheme is the construction, land under construction tax. Why was land under construction tax levied on all the projects? Because builder would get permission and then not do any work. If it doesn't do any work, then on the basis of construction, if he would be made to pay LUC tax and this tax would be very heavy, then at least he would start construction, because otherwise every year he will have to pay crores of rupees as taxes. Now, considering this LUC, which the builder has to pay because builder would otherwise cheat the residents, we told the government that under self-redevelopment this should not apply because we don't want to delay our buildings. We want our houses back. So we will not do anything to delay our building. Why should we pay tax of land under construction? We are staying on our land. Why should we pay taxes for our land? And so the LUC tax has been completely waived in self-redevelopment schemes. Stamp duty has been reduced, registration charges have been reduced, and GST to the extent of what is going to come to the state government would be reduced. And all such benefits are there in the GR of 13th September 2019. So from 13th September 2019, 13th September 2020, 13th September 2021, 13th September 2022. It's been 3 years. We are not still in September, but 2.5 years or more. The GR is there, but it's not being implemented. That's because people are not aware of this GR and the laws that help them if they would bring pressure. Of course, now there are the corporation elections coming when all the politicians come to your doorstep to ask for their votes. Every single individual should tell them what has happened to GR of 13 September. You announced the GR before the election to get our votes, and now that the elections have been held, you are holding on the GR and not implementing it. Maybe when the next election comes, you will again remove that GR from your pocket and tell us that now we will implement it. So no more nonsense and hanky-panky. You should tell all your elected representatives, all the political parties that implement the GR, otherwise we will not vote for you. And if that GR is implemented, then there will be a revolution in Mumbai. Every single person will get extra area. Not only will he get extra area, he will get a right to buy surplus area at 30% discount. And we have done it in Mumbai. We have about 70 projects where permissions have been given. We have 780 cooperative housing society where resolutions have been passed for self-redevelopment. We have about 20 projects where construction is on. We have about 9 projects where buildings have been completed and people have come to stay. Occupation certificate has been given. So self-redevelopment is not on paper. It is not a dream. It is a reality. And people have opted for it as the most chosen option for their redevelopment purposes. So a redevelopment will now happen and is happening all over the city. The cloud of self-redevelopment is slowly reaching through the internet, through YouTube channels, through WhatsApp, through messaging, through through emails. The younger generation has become more active, and the younger generation has realized that it is their future which is at stake. And they are realizing that instead of going for the common system of redevelopment where the builder would cheat you, going for self-redevelopment is much better, which will get you more benefits. And so on one hand, there is the developers model for redevelopment and there is a self-redevelopment model for redevelopment. It can be applicable in the slums, it can be made applicable in the cooperative housing societies, it can be made applicable in MADA colonies, it can be made applicable in tenanted buildings, and everywhere this can happen. Now, it is not just restricted to Mumbai. Now, Thane is going for self-redevelopment. Navi Mumbai is going for self-redevelopment. Panvel is going for self-redevelopment. Vasai Virar, we have several cases where people are going for self-redevelopment. So the entire MMR region, there is self-redevelopment. In Pune, there are 130 cooperative housing societies which intend to have self-redevelopment. On 22nd of May, there is a massive rally in Pune with where 1,500 cooperative housing society office bearers are collecting. I am personally going there to guide them. I have 17 cooperative housing societies in Nagpur who are doing self-redevelopment. Now, even Nasik self-redevelopment is catching up in a big way. And Aurangabad also, people have understood what self-redevelopment is. The local banks are wanting to fund it. So self-redevelopment as opposed to the normal redevelopment has become a reality and it is helping people. So the people still have a choice to go to the builder and permit the builder to make huge amount of profits out of what was their house with sweat and blood, or redevelop it as opposed to the builder scheme on their own, get more area, get more corpus, get better planning, get better quality construction, get things done on time, and also the right to buy extra area at a discounted price. All this is possible if people show certain initiative. People will never show an initiative unless they are guided by proper people. And the guidance by proper people can be done if young lawyers come forward and understand these schemes. That's why I am here today. Otherwise, I have my own audience, I have my own fan following, I have my own people whom I communicate on a regular basis, and I don't have to come on a forum like this to talk to people. But when I was told that young students of law and young lawyers are the ones who will be attending this seminar, and also the cooperative housing societies who are attending it on my request. All of them put together, if we can make this into a movement. I don't look at this as just a scheme. I look at this as a massive movement. And if the massive movement for self-redevelopment builds up in Mumbai and the rest of Maharashtra, we can change the face of urban Maharashtra. We can change the face of various cities in Maharashtra. We can change the face of every city that you are living in. And we can look at ourselves with pride that we have done something for ourselves. Every single resident of the state of Maharashtra will be bequeathing something for the next generation. And it's the next generation which will be living in the houses. The present generation, all said and done, worked hard, made a house, and now the house has become old and it needs to be reconstructed, redeveloped. And who's going to live there? The present generation is not going to live for 100 more years. It's the next generation and the generation after which. The government has increased the FSI, taking advantage of this increase in FSI. Self-redevelopment means the profit which the builder would have taken is now distributed amongst the people. It's the best social measure by which the benefits that are accrued from the land on which you bought your flat is redeveloped. The benefits go to you and to no one else. So you are not exploited by anybody. It's an anti-exploitation measure. It's a measure where people get their rights. And if all the people work towards getting their rights, I think the city will be a better place to live in. There could be better infrastructure. There are self-development schemes where people are giving themselves solar energy. People are giving themselves good sources of entertainment. People are giving themselves free hot water system. They are giving themselves charging facility for their electric vehicles. They are giving themselves swimming pools. They are giving themselves health club. They are also giving themselves separate quarantine area where if a person who's going out and has certain symptoms of COVID, he would be quarantined in that area and he would not necessarily go to his house. And after a few days of quarantine, if he is tested negative, then he can go back to his area. If he is tested positive, then he can lie down in the quarantine area and be treated by doctors without the rest of his family being affected. Then we have the areas which are called, refuse floors, which are essentially meant for firefighting purposes. But refuse floors can also be used for other purposes, for the members, children to study, for gymnasium, for young people to have study classes, for birthday parties, for anniversary parties and so on, which no builder would ever give. So that which no builder can give, the people get it for themselves. It is people who are trying to make it for themselves. Somebody said, "Tuts tujha yashacha dhani." You are the master of your destiny. आप ही अपने भाग्य बना सकते हैं. And that is what self-redevelopment can do for you. And for younger lawyers and younger students of law who are now getting to understand these schemes. See, the seniors have cornered most of the market. There is hardly anybody who wants to give job to new young people. And to practice on your own in a court of law is so difficult despite getting registration at the bar. So if you go to such societies who are not aware of the laws pertaining to redevelopment and self-redevelopment and you educate them and then they appoint you as a lawyer, then without employment, you can still guide the society and the society can pay you certain remuneration for the services that you are rendering to them. And if you get 3-4 societies, you can sustain yourself and your family. And similarly, you can help in self-redevelopment and more self-redevelopment. There are 45,000 cooperative housing societies. 70 lakh people live in slums. 18,000 old and dilapidated tenanted buildings are there. So there is a whole sea before you. You can get small little works which will pay you and also give you the satisfaction of having done something which is good, having done something which will help you, having done something which will benefit you. And that is what you need to give. So I've given you the details of the cooperative society's directive and the recommendations and guidelines for redevelopment if you want to go for redevelopment under the builder scheme. I've given you details of the GR of 13 September 2019, which can help you for self-redevelopment scheme. I've given you advantages of redevelopment and disadvantages of redevelopment if done by the builder. I've given you the advantages and disadvantages of the self-redevelopment scheme. They are all before you. Remember, in a self-redevelopment scheme, you should be united. Remember that in a self-redevelopment scheme, all decisions are taken by general body. So if you keep on fighting in your general body and not take decisions, then it will be difficult. Remember that in self-redevelopment schemes, you are taking all the decisions. So it is very important that the decision makers are honest and not indulge into fraudulent practices. So the cooperative housing society should entrust self-redevelopment to such people who are honest and who would like to do this work without doing any frauds. Every member of the society knows every other member. So you know who is a fraudulent person, who's a person who is not good with your money, and who's a person who's trustworthy, whom you can trust. So if you appoint a person who's trustworthy, who's honest, who's upright, and who wants to do the correct way, then self-redevelopment can be a chosen option and can do miracles for you. Not only will you get extra area, but from the corpus that you will get, it can be invested, and that invested corpus can give you enough returns so that your maintenance for a reasonable period of time, maybe 10 years, 15 years, 25 years, would come from the returns of the investment. So for those who cannot afford to pay their maintenance, also self-redevelopment becomes the most preferred option. So with this, I think I have taken about an hour, which I had promised your organizers that I would explain these two schemes. I thank the organizers again for having me, and I thank you all for giving such a tremendous response.